Number one for the Stags, it's Music Match Day. Now, as you've been hearing and as you heard there, this week has been quite a week for Richie Barker. Earlier in the week, he admitted that he isn't actually Richie Barker. Everybody's been calling him Richie Barker, but he prefers to be called Richard. In fact, he says, "My name's Richard, my wife calls me Richard, my mum calls me Richard, and my whole family call me Richard, so we're calling him Richard." However, to commemorate this, Ian Watkins, who's been in for Andy on the Big Breakfast Show this week, wrote a song about him, Super Richie Barker, to commemorate the last week that we can know him as Richie, passing away, and then Richard reborn this week here on Mansfield 103.2. Ian, why on earth did you do this?
Why did I do it? Well, because two reasons, really. I thought it was funny, the fact that he wanted to change his name after being at Field Mill for quite a while now. And we didn't know that he wanted to be called Richard until this week, or I didn't know anyway, at least. And also because we're doing the big Field the Mill campaign, everybody getting down to Field Mill today, of course, try and encourage loads of people to go down and support the Stags, and I thought it would be quite fun to do a little bit of a ditty.
What about the effect it's had, though? Because it kind of took off, didn't it?
It did take off. Friday morning I got into the station around about 5 o'clock, and I was wondering what I was going to do for the show. And I had sort of said on Thursday morning during the breakfast show, standing in for Andy, Andy's back on Monday by the way, that I was going to do a song, and I was sort of in two minds whether I was going to do it or not. And one of the listeners, Barry Coleman over in South Normanton, popped in. He had some words for me, which I promptly forgot after he told me them. So I think he'll be there at the game today. And basically, I forgot the words. I was like, I'm tired. I don't know whether I could do this. And then I found this music and I thought, hey, let's use it. And that's where it came from. Super Richie Barker.
And what about the little bit at the end where everybody's been talking about the song funny, and then there's the little bit at the end where there's actually a clip of Richie Barker, isn't there?
Well, yeah, people actually thought Richie Barker was singing it because it's sort of done in the first person. Sort of, I'm going to score the goals and all this business. And don't call me Richie or I won't score the goals, I mean, along the lines of that. And right at the end, we did an interview with Richie in the week, which we've already alluded to, where he did say that he didn't want to be called Richie anymore, it'd be Richard, so we did an interview with Richard, not Richie. It starts to get confusing, doesn't it, after a while? Anyway, so there was a little bit where he went, my name is Richard, not Richie, and I thought right at the end it would make sense if we just had that, which made it even funnier.
Now, your message to Mansfield Town fans, I know you're a big Stags fan and you'll probably be there this afternoon. You're on your way, in fact. I've seen you've got your togs on ready for the game. What's your message to Mansfield Town fans this afternoon?
My message to Mansfield Town fans is that, you know, we got a great little town, which we all live in, and we've got a great little football club, and not so little, actually. It's great to have a team to support, and they've been having such a wonderful run of form recently that it's sort of... You know, you can't help. You know, some of my friends who aren't even Stags fans are starting to watch the results coming in now because they realise that it was looking a bit tricky. It looked like we could be in a bit of mess earlier on in the season around Christmas, and we've really pulled ourselves out of that now. And it's basically the bandwagon. And there's a possibility that if we do well over the next couple of games, if we beat Northampton today, and I really hope we do, and if we don't, I'll be massively gutted. It will ruin my weekend. If we do, we got a good chance of possibly, dare I say it, making the playoffs. And hey, wouldn't that be great?
And we know what will happen if Mansfield Town reach the playoffs. Big cup final. What happens? There's always a cup final song. Would you do it?
Well, to tell you the truth, the song was only made for the Friday breakfast show.
Just say yes.
It's been played out far too much, and I say no. I'm not going to be doing it.